hegemony of the Nigerian nation and, of course, commitment of Mr. President towards ECOWAS peace, towards ECOWAS security, to ECOWAS stability.
Vice President Kashim Shettima departs Abuja to represent President Tinubu at President Mamadi Doumbouya's inauguration in Guinea-Conakry. Rivers State House of Assembly set to proceed with impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy. Nigeria is officially removed from the European Union's list of high-risk countries for anti-money laundering and terrorism financing. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24, live from Abuja. I am your carrier, Clinton. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja to represent President Bola Tinubu at President Mamadi Doumbouya's inauguration in Guinea-Conakry. He is also billed to attend the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, after his participation in the presidential inauguration in the West African country. The inauguration is scheduled to hold on Saturday, January 17th at the GLC Stadium, Nongo, Conakry. From Guinea, Vice President Shettima will proceed to Davos cluster, Switzerland, to participate in the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum 2026, scheduled to hold from January 19th to January 23rd, 2026, WEF 2026, under the theme, A Spirit of Dialogue. Will bring together leaders from government, business, civil society, and the scientific and cultural communities to foster trusted dialogue, collaborative problem solving, and future-oriented solutions to shared global challenges.
We've reached a hegemony of the Nigerian nation and, of course, commitment of Mr. President towards ECOWAS peace, towards ECOWAS security, to ECOWAS stability of Mr. President as it concerns global trade and partnerships. So it's going to be deepened, and then if you take into cognizance as today that for the very first time in the history of this country, we have about $47 billion as our foreign reserve, unprecedented in the history of this country. So it tells you about the renewed hope in policies and initiatives that Mr. President is bringing on board and how it's succeeding and what we are banking in. So as of today, look at the initiative, the ease of doing business. We've opened up the economy, and Mr. President has put almost everything on the table to ensure that, look, when you think about investment and globalization in terms of trade, that Nigeria should be your next destination. And this is the same message Mr. Vice President will be exporting out there in Davos.
The Vice President is expected to return to Nigeria at the conclusion of his engagements in Davos. The National Economic Council has resolved to deepen engagement with stakeholders to boost non-oil revenue in line with the federal government economic blueprint. The council, at its maiden meeting in 2026, also approved the constitution of a committee on the implementation of the President's directive on the actualization of legacy projects. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jubela reports.
Chairman of the Council, Vice President Kashim Shettima, called for accelerated transition from oil to non-oil economy through competitive manufacturing, export diversification, and private sector investment.
There's a structural shift underway that deserves recognition. The non-oil economy has emerged as the backbone of our growth story. Today, it accounts for about 96% of GDP, and is expanding at roughly 4%. Services, agriculture, and other non-oil sectors are increasingly carrying the weight of the economy. More importantly, non-oil revenues now contribute nearly 3/4 of total government collections. This marks a significant, if gradual, departure from our historic dependence on volatile oil receipts.
The Legacy Projects Committee is chaired by Governor of Cross River State, while governors of Sokoto, Gombe, Niger, Abia, and Lagos are members with ministers of works, transportation, and permanent secretary budget and economic planning will serve as secretary.
To help with the issues arising from legacy projects and transformational projects in the Renewed Hope agenda, as well as projects that require cooperation between the different tiers of government, particularly land issues.
NEC also received a presentation on the economic priorities for 2026 by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, highlighting key reforms implemented by the Tinubu administration, including targeted programs that have removed distortions in the system, stabilized the economy, and put Nigeria on the path of sustained recovery and prosperity.
Hasn't happened in the last few years. The key priorities, according to that presentation, have to do with maintaining Nigeria's economic competitiveness through sound governance, improved availability and affordability of food, very critical, ensuring human capital development with improved social protection.
The presentation also reflected the country's current global recognition, which is reinforcing investor confidence in the economy, projected to grow at 4.68% in 2026. Council lauded the proposed World Bank Group Country Partnership Framework consultations, which among others expects to invest in young Nigerians, thereby delivering early results for Nigeria's children and the future of work.
How they intend to engage with Nigeria over the next 10 years, and he highlighted human capital development, resilience, and of particular note, early child. He indicated that their current portfolio of $17 billion, they will do more.
Also, the Council received update on Nigeria's tax reform laws presented by Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee. Council resolved to take a more robust engagement on the new tax regime at its forthcoming conference in February. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
The Rivers State House of Assembly says it is still going ahead with the impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Professor Ngozi Odu on the grounds of gross misconduct. This was announced at a media briefing prior to the sitting. The decision was reached after 4 House members opted out and pleaded for a political solution to the crisis. Nkiru Onyejesi reports.
The Deputy Speaker, Dumle Mao, says the impeachment process has nothing to do with ethnicity, but constitutional, especially as the governor and his deputy has gone against Section 188 of the Constitution. Other lawmakers also reiterated their commitment to ensuring they carry out their constitutional duties for the progress of the state.
We concluded that there is indeed the need to proceed. This is a decision of all of us, including members who had the opportunity to address the media few days ago, and those who had already decided not to proceed but changed their positions. Our decision to proceed is informed by the following. 1, the governor and the deputy governor do not have any intention to stop disobeying the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as altered.
Earlier this week, 2 House members had a press briefing and they appealed with their colleagues to step down on the impeachment process. Similarly, again, a few days ago, 2 other of their colleagues had a press briefing and also pleaded for a political solution.
The governor and deputy governor are ignoring us. And regarding the House of Assembly to the background.
The members unanimously voted in support of investigation of allegations of gross misconduct against Governor Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu. Speaker Martin Amehule decried that the voting clearly shows the decision of the House and called on the state chief judge to set up a panel of investigation.
Allegations of gross misconduct leveled against His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, Governor of Oyo State, proceed to the next level of this investigation.
Sitting has been adjourned to next week Tuesday in Port Harcourt in Kiru Onyejisi. NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Good Governance Advocacy Center has urged Rivers State House of Assembly lawmakers to embrace dialogue and suspend the impeachment proceedings. It also urged political leaders, elders, democratic institutions, and other stakeholders to intervene in resolving the crisis. In a statement, the country representative of GGSC, Dr. Zacchaeus Ocha, noted that continuing the impeachment of Governor Fubara and his deputy could plunge Rivers into prolonged political instability and undermine its economy. The group said it is analyzing the situation, insisting that transparency, restraint, and constitutional norms remain the only path to democratic stability. Nigeria has been officially removed from the European Union's list of high-risk countries for anti-money laundering and terrorism financing. The decision follows Nigeria's successful removal from the Financial Action Task Force Grey List in October 2025, after implementing reforms to strengthen its anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, credited President Bola Tinubu's leadership, strong political will, and reforms across government agencies for the achievement. He noted that Nigeria has significantly strengthened its AML-CFT framework, boosting the nation's global financial credibility. The minister praised the collaborative efforts of regulators, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, law enforcement, the judiciary, and the private sector, and reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to sustaining these reforms and working closely with international partners to keep its financial system transparent and aligned with global standards. The removal is expected to ease business transactions between Nigerian and European entities, improve banking relationships, and boost investor confidence in Africa's largest economy. We'll take a break, and now there'll be more news after the break. Don't go away.
Season's greetings from all of us at Erisco Foods. The festivities are already in the air, and we'd like to especially thank you for your continued patronage of Erisco Foods, the only tomato brand to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the federal government of Nigeria. With our proud Nigerian products and services, we have continued to create thousands of jobs for our people and for the growth of our economy. Thank you, our esteemed customers, distributors, and partners. Yes, the taste of Nigeria is the taste of celebration and the taste of goodwill and good cooking. We care for your good health and long life. So cook right and eat healthy to live longer. Always buy Erisco products. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to... Tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality, and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Erisco tomato paste and products. 100% natural. Now one day, better food now. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
This is NTA News 24.
We're glad to have you back. Nigeria's healthcare system is set for consolidation and transformation in 2026 as government and stakeholders advance reforms to strengthen primary healthcare delivery and financial accountability. Dr. Muyaina, Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, believes the recently implemented Primary Healthcare Financial Act is central to this drive, introducing automated systems to track funds from allocation to impact, ensuring transparency and curbing leakages across facilities nationwide. Lydia Sampson tells us more.
As part of the robust transformation, emphasis on patient-centered care is also gaining momentum, with digital records and data-driven service delivery expected to improve patients' experience, continuity of care, and clinical outcomes. Gaston Good Morning Nigeria acknowledged health authorities are intensifying efforts to integrate the informal sector into the National Health Insurance Scheme, expanding access and affordability for millions outside formal employment. However, there are still some hurdles to cross.
This is the year where we do a number of things. One is to consolidate on the direction that we have now established. Of course, we have now shown what needs to be done where. This is the time to bring in non-state actors. In increasing the number of facilities, we solved for equity, and right now we're at 13,500 that are basic healthcare provision supported, and that's what we want to implement this year.
In addition, government plans a major boost for domestic pharmaceutical manufacturing. New investment incentives and public-private partnerships aim to reduce import dependency, enhance medicine availability, and shield the country from global supply shocks.
Every earning of the government into one pool, at least 1% of it, has to be dedicated to this revenue fund. Now, be able to take care of emergency care system, be able to take care of infant, maternal, child health care system, be able to take care of, immunization and vaccination and the lot.
The medical experts are optimistic 2026 could mark a turning point in Nigeria's journey towards a sustainable, efficient, and inclusive healthcare system where technology, transparency, and local capacity work together to deliver better outcomes for every citizen. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Taraba State Governor, Agbo Kefas, has reiterated his administration's resolve to supporting the serving personnel of the nation's armed forces and families of the fallen heroes for their resilience and sacrifices for the country. The governor made this resolve at the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day held at the Jolly Nyame Stadium in Jalingo, the state capital. Godwin Inalegu has the details.
The Nigerian Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day is an annual event to celebrate and remember the fallen heroes that sacrificed their lives for the unity and peace of the nation, as well as support their families. Governor Agbo Kefas, while describing the day as not just a ceremonial day, says it is a day of memories, gratitude, and recommitment to remember our fallen heroes and women who laid down their lives so that Nigeria might stand great.
We remember sacrifices that were made quietly, painfully, and often without recognition. Their courage was not for applause, it was for national survival. And that legacy will never be forgotten.
He says the day gives every Nigerian the opportunity to salute those who are still in uniform, to remain committed to professionalism and be dedicated to make a difference as in Taraba State.
Your commitment to defending the sovereignty of our nation, preserving peace, and safeguarding the life is a debt Nigeria can never fully repay.
The governor emphasizes that as a government, he remains committed to supporting security agencies as peace and development cannot exist without security. The governor, earlier accompanied by the Commander 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Jalingo, Brigadier General Kingsley Uwa, inspected guards, led others, and laid wreath at the foot of the unknown soldier. In Jalingo, Godwin Inalegu,
NTA News.
Still on the armed forces, the Minority Caucus in the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to improve the welfare of Nigeria's armed forces and provide enhanced security equipment as morale boosters for military personnel in various theaters of operation. In a statement issued by the House Minority Leader, Kingsley Chinda, and endorsed by 3 other caucus leaders, the lawmakers advocate strengthening the capacity and welfare of the military to effectively tackle the country's security challenges, while felicitating officers and men of the armed forces on the occasion of this year's Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. The opposition lawmakers paid tribute to soldiers who pay the supreme price in the defense of Nigeria's sovereignty. And as Nigeria marks 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day, the national chairman of the Boot Party, Sunday Adenuga, has called on government authorities to move beyond ceremonial tributes to focus more on the welfare challenges facing Nigerian soldiers and their families, paying tribute to the courage of Nigeria's fallen heroes as well as the men and women currently serving on the front lines. Adenuga said Nigerians stand in solidarity with their families who share in the sacrifice. The Boot Party chairman noted that while Nigerians have witnessed improved momentum in counter-terrorism efforts since late 2025, progress on the battlefield must be matched with progress in barracks, hospitals, and soldiers' homes. He called for swift payment of retired soldiers' pensions, better access to quality health care for serving and retired personnel, as well as improved housing and living conditions for military families, among others. The Boot Party, Adenuga says, reiterates its commitment to advocating for policies that place soldiers and their families at the center of national defense planning. In line with the directives of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, on improved intelligence gathering mechanisms, the Kano State Police Command has made a significant breakthrough in crime prevention, management, and control in the state. A statement by the command's public relations officer, CSP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, says that in 2 separate operations, police officers attached to Rijia Lemo Police Division and Anti-Daba Unit intercepted suspected explosive materials and illicit drugs. The statement explains that police officers attached to Rijia Lemo Police Division, on the direction of the Commissioner of Police, executed a search warrant at a residence in Tudu Bujua Quarters, Fage local government area, where 2 big sacks containing suspected incriminating materials were discovered. When a team of experts from the Command's Explosive Ordnance Disposal, Chemical, Biological, Radiological, and Nuclear EOD CBRN conducted recognition and identification of the suspected materials, it was discovered that one of the sacks contained 6 rolls of detonating codes. The other sack contained 20 parcels of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa and 220 sachets of suspected Exol tablets. In the second operation, a team of police officers attached to Anti-Daba Unit of the command, while on an intelligence-led surveillance patrol, intercepted a tricycle rider at Sani Mainage Quarters, Gwale local government area, with 3 bags containing suspected heavy materials. A team of experts from the command's EOD CBRN conducted recognition and identification of the suspected materials, where electric detonators numbering 3,700 pieces were discovered. The statement adds that the commercial tricycle rider led to the arrest of a suspect identified as Ibrahim Garba, a.k.a. Miyanbaki, aged 49 years, of Zamfara State, and confessed to facilitating the movement of the materials from Nasarawa State en route to other places. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Adamu Bakuri, commends the officers involved in the operations and urges the public to remain vigilant and continue to report any suspicious movement, items, or activities to the nearest police stations. Now we go to our sports desk to bring us more on the sports activities in the sporting world.